for working with the George W. Bush administration. And I do think that this is a... is this his RV or something? No, right? This is his apartment, I think. But maybe this is the RV that he uses when he's on the circus, which is a show that he hosts. He's in Australia. But dude, when you have a ceiling mirror, dude, you know that's for fucking. Like, there's no other reason to have that. Okay?
Although we've said that many times over the course of the Trump presidency, but listen, I think that I think we're going to have a transition over the next 24 hours. Today will be the last day we say the words President Trump, and tomorrow will be the first day we say the words President Biden. So, listen, we're turning the page here. This has been a dark and tragic month in American history, and we've seen a lot of damage done, but the security right now, as you know, is, I mean, the only crowds in Washington, D.C. right now are people in camouflage. I'm a block from the White House and I can't go anywhere. Yeah. And my hotel is just me and the National Guard. So I think we can feel safe that this transition will now happen in the next 24 hours and tomorrow we'll have a new president.
But in terms of the legacy that Trump leaves behind, I mean, first of all, he'll still be occupying the limelight.
Bro, that is a sex hotel that he's staying at, okay? My man is at a fuck hotel. Was that the only fucking hotel that he could rent a room in? That is a freak ass DC fuck hotel that he is currently in. Why aren't you watching, Joe? Because he's just walking, bro. What do you want?
A sizable staff. You know, she'll have the same.
My man is just walking.
Offices that Joe
and he
Biden
already
had
walked his way in.
And she will end up spending a lot of time.
He walked in the White House. We're just watching Kamala walk.
Need her to break lots of
votes because he's going to have that trial in the Senate. But also the fact that 64% of Republican voters think that Biden is not a legitimate president.
This is the damning fucking stat. Okay? That's the scary shit. The fact that 64% of Republicans think that Joe Biden is not a legitimate president. Like, that's a terrifying stat, okay? That is a terrifying fucking statistic. And that Mark McKinnon and his kind are personally responsible for. That didn't happen because of Donald Trump. It's not just Donald Trump alone. It's the Republican Party that absolutely fucking... Also a BS stat? No, it's like 54% believe that 54% believe that Donald Trump and the actions that his supporters took, 50% of Republicans believe that Donald Trump and his supporters took at the Capitol were just and legitimate. Okay? So the point is this. The point is this. Every Republican leading up to this point have straight up deny the reality on elections over and over again in an effort to justify voter suppression. So Donald Trump kicking it up a notch is just the expected and logical outcome of years and years of the Republican Party and Republican officials in positions of power and people like this hat-wearing, fuck hotel frequenting dipshit here. They've been perpetrating this lie for a very long time to justify voter suppression measures. And the Republican media and the center-right media has also advanced this lie as well. So, of course, Donald Trump's going to take advantage of that. He is, of course, most responsible out of anyone else. But all of these Republicans who are saying, like, oh, it's just Donald Trump and his supporters, but, like, come on, we'll be better off in the future. You know, we got reasonable Republicans. Like, no, motherfucker, all those reasonable Republicans, like, they did that. They did that too, and they will continue doing that. So if you think that, like, reasonable Republicans aren't going to civilly, in a civil manner, continue the same nefarious, reality-denying bullshit that they have, you're out of your mind. You're delusional. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to run the rest of this video. But before we do that, it is top of the hour every hour where there's a 60-second outbreak. A contractual obligation. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with your Twitch Prime. Connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get one free Prime subscription. Or you can use a VPN. Or you can use an ad blocker. Some of them work, some of them don't. But here's the ad.
147 Republican lawmakers on the Hill voted against the result of this election. As a Republican, surely that must worry you.
Oh, it does, deeply. And the really chilling number to me, Matt, is the number of 45% of...
I'd like to know what percentage of Democrats thought Trump was a legitimate president. You literally tell us how to avoid the ads. You're the best streamer, man. Thanks for your permission to use Adblock. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't know what percentage of Democrats thought that Trump was an illegitimate president. There were certainly a lot of Democrats who thought that there was involvement from foreign actors that changed the outcome of the election. I'm not one of those people. I've shit on those people a lot over and over again. I think that Hillary Clinton was responsible for her loss. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because, again, no matter what happens, one, Hillary Clinton still won the popular vote and Donald Trump lost the popular vote. So there's a little bit more reason for Democrats to be upset about it. And two, it doesn't matter because people in positions of power didn't actively say that Donald Trump is not the president and Hillary Clinton is actually the president now in the same capacity that Republicans did with Donald Trump. Do you get it? Do you understand the difference there? In the United States, 84% accept Trump as a legitimate president. 76% of Clinton voters said that Trump was the legitimate president. Saying not my president from liberals does not mean that they literally don't think Donald Trump is the president and Hillary Clinton is the president. They said this president does not represent my interests. The 2016 article? My guy, what year should we look at for the 2016 election? Should I look for numbers from 2020? You asked, and here is your fucking answer. You stupid moron. What year should we look at? This is a direct comparison to that other 64% number. Yeah, please, can you find me a year that makes my argument hold weight? Is this one absolutely fucking cumsters and dumpsters, my argument? And it's really sad that you would do this by showing actual fucking facts. And I do not appreciate that, sir. Can you please find an argument that helps me more? Because I was just spreading. I was just yelling out words. Didn't really think about what they mean or anything like that. I was just hoping that there wasn't any evidence to the contrary.
Republicans who actually supported what happened at the Capitol. I have no words for that. And that's not the Republican Party that I know. I mean, the one thing we do know is now, particularly because of last week, that Donald Trump will no longer have the monopoly hold that he has on the party. He will always be a cult figure. He will always be adored and idolized by a portion of the electorate on the Republican side. But there are clearly now people like leadership positions like Liz Cheney and even Mitch McConnell who are now stepping away from Donald Trump. And when he's not president, that power dissipates pretty quickly. I know he thinks he would want to run for president again, but he may be denied that through the impeachment process or other legal proceedings. So the fact is that I think we've seen the very height of Donald Trump's power. And listen, He's the only president that's ever been impeached twice. He lost the Senate, the Congress, and the presidency, which is, those are the legacies that he's leaving behind.
But for American democracy to function, you need two viable, stable political parties, and that includes the Republicans. Do you think that the Republican Party can make that journey back to where it was, a moderate party?
It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick, and I don't know what shape it will end up, whether it's moderate.
Yeah, that's really crazy because, when was there a stable and normal Republican Party? I am unaware of its existence, so I don't know. Like, when did that happen? Maybe, like, during the Civil War, like Abraham Lincoln days, Long gone are those days, so... Seems like the contemporary Republican Party, especially post-civil rights movement, has been a festering wound on American democracy, specifically operating for the purpose of like eliminating all matter of congressional power, beefing up executive authority, and also leaving everything up to the court system, which they are trying to fill to the brim with psychopathic Federalist Society Republican judges. So it seems weird that, this wasn't the only election where the Republican Party was being ridiculous.
Or not, but I think it's going to be different. It's got to evolve. It's got to, in politics, you evolve or you die. And so, that's what the Republican Party will have to do, or it will be a minority party into the indefinite future. So there's a lot that has to happen. But listen, there are some optimistic things out there as well. 67% of the country thinks that Joe Biden has handled this transition process well. That includes
Democrats needed 20K military members to bring in a new regime. Sounds familiar to what we do in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Cuba. Don't be ignorant. What? Oh wait. Oh fuck. What's the person's name? I gotta look at their history. That's a really good take. That's like a really, really psychotic take. I need to know what else they've said in the chat. Did anyone catch who said that? Was it partially? Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good stuff. Shit isn't comfortable at all. You mean socialized medicine would never be able to get the broken ass fixed? Hacker questions. Ended racism. Are you dumb? Ignorant. LMFAO. Wait, this person is like... What? First of all, my title is very clearly a joke. It is sarcastic. And secondly, socialized medicine would never be able to get the broken ass fixed? What do you mean? Are they like anti-socialized medicine? I don't understand. Anyway, God, that's good. Yes, comparing American imperialism to, trying to protect a new administration from a bunch of psychotic fucking MAGA hogs who refuse to recognize the outcome of a democratic election, despite Republican efforts to, change that reality both before the election and also after the election results were cast, counted, recounted numerous times, is the exact same. You're right. Incredible.
Includes a lot of Republicans. So I think that Joe Biden is already getting very good marks from not just Democrats, but independents and people across the board. So that's a good signal. And listen, we've got a lot of work to do, but hopefully the worst is behind us.
Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, and Kamala Harris all wear purple to inauguration. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Why are we even talking about that?
that kind of affection from the two of them for so many years. And it was almost as though, without saying it, she was saying, "You did it, Joe." And this is a life lesson that he has put on display for the American people in heartache, heartbreak, and a lot of hard work through the years as senator, as vice president, working across the aisle, genuinely caring about people and empathy, and through demonstrating what has happened to him in his own life.
Like
with the
Red and
loss of his
Blue
first
united?
wife, his baby girl, and then his son much later in life.
Yeah, I can't wait for this kind of coverage to take over the airwaves as like, I hope I'm wrong about this. Let me say something. I hope I'm really, really wrong about this. And maybe I am. I have seen evidence to the contrary. But I do believe that the Joe Biden administration is going to be a repeat of the Obama administration in terms of fake incrementalism, in terms of like deficit hawking and the conversation revolving around the deficit, both by Democrats themselves and Republicans. All manner of relief still exclusively covering corporations of the wealthy, the elites. And rarely ever will the workers get more than breadcrumbs. I hope I'm wrong about all of that. Okay? I hope I'm wrong about all of that. With Democrats consistently trying to compromise with the Republicans that are very clearly not even remotely interested in that sort of compromise at all. We have Congress now. Obama had a larger majority in the Senate than Joe Biden has right now. Okay? And all while this is happening, I assume that the media is just going to focus on the aesthetics, talk about how nice Joe Biden is, talk about how kind Jill Biden is, talk about how great they are, and talk about how bad Donald Trump was. And routinely talk about how bad Donald Trump was and how good it is now. We can all just have a sigh of relief collectively. Because Joe Biden is now president and democracy has been saved. Okay? The proverbial brunch time is now upon us. Look at how kind he is. Look at him kissing babies. That sort of thing. We are going to hear about the return of normalcy for months. Yeah. And if I have to see the Madison Cawthorn signature, you have to see the Madison Cawthorn signature. What is this? It's very cute. Very cute signature that he has. I know Donald Trump has been banned from Twitch, brother. I know. If anything, this is an opportunity for the country to move to a three post-party system. Genuine question? No, that's not happening. Isn't Joe meant to be the man who is great at reaching across the aisle, though? Let's see if he can live up to it. There is no reaching across the aisle. That's not a real concept. Okay? That will never be a real concept. Why would you fucking reach across the aisle when you have fought hard? When so many people on the ground have fought hard to maintain that majority, to win a majority in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. Why the fuck would you reach across the aisle when you're literally fighting to win? It makes no sense. Okay? Reaching across the aisle at these hogs, and I don't just mean like the Republican hogs who are like, oh, the election was stolen. Reaching across the aisle when the people standing across the aisle are literally not interested in compromise and they're not even remotely interested in bettering American society is so silly. It's only a way to dilute your pre-existing legislation And it's only a way to create another unnecessary hurdle for yourself. Why would you compromise when you don't need to? It makes no goddamn sense. I've talked about this a million times over, but I'll repeat it. The Obamacare deliberations was the best example that I can use. Okay? The Obama administration did not need Republican votes. They waited. They still went back and forth endlessly. They diluted their own bills. Okay? They didn't get a single Republican vote in the end. Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that? Obama fucked himself over from the jump. He had the grassroots mobilization, which he, in the form of Obama for America, exclusively created with 500,000 active members, exclusively created for pushing for healthcare legislation. He took that, turned it into Organizing for America, and shoved it under the DNC and shuttered it. Okay? That's 500,000 people you could have used to pressure the likes of Joe Lieberman, for example, to do the right thing. There is absolutely zero reason to ever in a million years compromise with Republicans when the conversation that we're having revolves around like giving people healthcare and shit. There's no compromising with fascists, especially if you have power. No, beef up your fucking ranks. Make sure that you can whip your caucuses to vote along party lines and pass the most progressive legislation you possibly can. The longer the Senate process takes, the longer the passing of legislation is, the more political capital you expend. And you don't need to expend that kind of, you don't need to spend that kind of political capital. If you pass legislation in a hurry. Okay? What are your opinions on the 17 planned executive orders on the first day? Obama only did 2. I don't give a fuck. The executive orders that he's passing, there's only one that's like really good. Yeah, the rest are pretty symbolic. Well, the Muslim ban one is good too, but the most important one is beefing up DACA protections and trying to fortify it. And it's all just undoing the Trump administration's executive orders for the most part. There's always a back and forth on these sorts of executive orders. If he really wanted to go crazy with it, yeah, I know, the Paris Accord, come on, guys. Again, there's good stuff there. But if he wants to be really, really crazy, if he wanted to go balls to the fucking wall, what he should have done is immediately offer 10K student loan debt relief. With one signature, he could do that. The extension of the moratorium on rent on federal properties and things like that, Donald Trump was going to extend as well. Extension on student debt payments. Again, these are things that the Republican administration was doing as well. So that's not different than whoever the fuck was going to be the next president. Why is it all your sources and articles just come from chat? How does this thing operate here? Just curious. What? Fucking just curious Andy over here. Here, get timed out, bitch. The Wall Street Journal editorial board member on Fox News is saying that there can be no unity as long as Democrats keep talking about white supremacists, by the way. Oh, there's a Teamsters JC16 strike in the Bronx. Workers at Hunts Point, where 60% of New York City's produce is distributed, are striking for a fair wage and health care. When the Teamsters win, we all win. They're showing workers everywhere that we deserve more. Show your support by sharing photos and stories with hashtag Hunt Point Strike. Nice. Look at these bi-coastal elites, man. See these fucking bi-coastal elites, dude? Look at these goddamn bi-coastal elites, brother. Pathetic. Terrible. Oh, there's an immigration bill that's really good too. So there's an immigration bill that was sent to Congress that creates an 8-year path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. Okay. Pathway to amnesty is a remarkably popular bill. A remarkably popular idea. Okay. Do not let... No, I will not ban you, and I'm not blind as fuck. Do not let Republicans try to tell you that this is not a popular idea. It is a popular idea. It has overwhelming support, overwhelming majority support. Scrap per country visa caps that have kept citizens of some countries like India in long ways for green cards. Fund attorneys for kids in immigration court. What the fuck? Senator Menendez is going to introduce this? It's kind of weird. Eight years for citizenship is way too long. I agree. I think an 8-year path is incredibly long. Incredibly long. It really is. It's insanely long. Especially because any legislation that requires 8 years means 2 terms. It means that it's not guaranteed and could be overturned and could be easily overturned with whatever the fucking next Congress looks like. Legislation that is supposed to be good or legislation that's supposed to be helpful has to be legislation that has a 2-year window in order to maximize the power that you have. But a lot of comprehensive legislation is usually done in 4. But if you do it in 8 or more than 8, if you do it in more than 4 years, that means you don't have any interest in like anything actually fucking passing. But the good thing about an 8-year path to citizenship is that you probably get documentation immediately. You understand? Like, so it's not just like you're undocumented. I mean, I'll have to look at the actual roadmap, but they don't just say, okay, in the end of 8 years, you're no longer like considered on the run from the law, but you immediately get documentation. It's probably like a DACA style program that then unlocks additional additional fucking help. 8 is longer in comparison to other countries, but an amnesty measure for those who are here, is a really, really good and really popular idea. Unlocking help? Yeah. Why do you support removing the per country capita? I support having it. Why? Five years before green card, then 3 years later citizenship? Yeah. Great plan. It takes long enough to get the next Republican president. Can use it as a deportation list. Look, that's what we said about DACA, and ultimately that didn't happen. Okay. This is not the best thing, but it is a very good start. It did happen. What do you mean it did happen? How are they supposed to have income for those 5 years without a green card? Do you think a green card is the only thing that allows you to work on U.S. soil? How the fuck do DACA recipients work on U.S. soil right now? How do you think H1B visas work? Wait, is it HB1 or H1B? Yeah, H1B visas work. No, you get a permit. You get a temporary immigration status. And you get a permit to work. How do you think meatpacking plants and farms are operating? Yeah. The problem is due to the number of Indian applicants now, other nations have to wait like 10 years, dude. I don't know how that works. But I doubt I doubt it fucking caps off other nations. It's not like on a first come first serve basis. And that would imply that like every Indian person is literally fucking every Indian person is like applied before any other country. Two years is also hugely beneficial because the vast majority of the newly naturalized people would vote Dem in the next election, increasing Dem's power. Brother, I don't even know about that. We'll see. It is actually, that is the point of view. That's part of the reason why Republicans hate undocumented immigration or immigration in general, is because first-generation immigrants of undocumented parents overwhelmingly vote Democrat. That's why they constantly talk about a demographic shift changing the electoral landscape. Right? Anyway, let's look at what the fuck? John Ossoff and radical liberal Raphael Warnock being sworn in. Where is it? What the fuck is this? What is this lib shit?
The party has just begun. Sing it, fella. We're gonna sing. We're gonna love. We're gonna sing.
Okay. No, don't make me listen to this. Please have mercy. It eliminates the so-called 3 and 10-year bars and other provisions that keep families apart. The bill further supports families by explicitly including permanent partnerships and eliminating discrimination facing LGBTQ. Promote immigrant and refugee integration and citizenship. The bill provides new funding to state and local governments, private organizations, educational institutions, community-based organizations, not-for-profit. Great. That's great. This is like super neoliberal of me, and people will get mad at me for this, but I think like integration like integration creates like an entirely new industry, an entirely new sector that is that could be a growing market. It's fucking awesome. It's new jobs. That's what that means. And it's an absolute necessity. Training programs, English education programs, it's a fucking awesome thing. A big part of the problem with refugees in European countries that are experiencing a immigrant crisis literally revolves around a lack of solid integration programs. Like pushing immigrants to poor neighborhoods and cultural and social enclaves, and then creating a two-tiered work system for those who are here on refugee status or immigration status is not the most effective way of doing it. It creates a lot of division in society. Integration, that's culture genocide. Man, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, leftists don't even say shit like that. No, that's genocide. Shut up, 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 shut up. Shut up. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Shut up. Stop. Shut your stupid mouth, okay? Please. We had some great integration programs for Native Americans in Canada called residential schools. Okay, bro. Yes. Integration programs for immigrants willingly coming here are the exact same as like literally doing genocide to an indigenous population. You're right. These two things are the same. Thank you for that explainer. That was very cool. Here is a bad thing. And then here is a good thing that could be a helpful program that literally offers job opportunities to people that are literally looking for jobs, and that's precisely why they're fucking here. Thank you. Thank you. Very cool. Yeah, integration. When I say integration, I mean literally beating the shit out of Mexican people for not learning English. That's what I mean. Yes. Integration does not have to mean cultural re-education. Having programs that teach English and educate folks on social services that are out there would be extremely helpful in my first generation Mexi opinion. I mean, yeah, me too. Yes. I am a beneficiary of cultural assimilation, I would even go so far as to say. Like, I have been very interested in American culture when I was growing up, and that is part of the reason that I am an English speaker in a country that I didn't grow up in, okay? And I've been able to literally fucking own American-born, American podcasters and streamers in their own competitive field. And the only reason why I could do that is because, well, one, I work hard, but also two, I have a command over the English language. That is a valuable skill, a valuable fucking thing that I had to basically teach myself and learn because of my own personal interest, but that is wonderful for first generation immigrants. That would be a wonderful resource for immigrants coming into the country. So shut the fuck up with your stupid ass saying like, oh yeah. I love it when fucking white leftists in Iowa are talking about how integration programs are actually bad. Dog, your family's been here for like 11 generations, okay? It's only bad when China does it, huh? Yeah, because what China's doing is just retraining programs. Yeah, just like what Germany was doing, right? Idiot. You're doing that exact same thing again. You're conflating concentration camps with integration programs that offer opportunities to immigrants that are coming here willingly. Okay? Why is it that so many people literally turn into fucking Trump supporters? Xenophobic Hassan, yes. Saying cultural genocide exists towards Uyghur Muslims in China by the Chinese government is being xenophobic. Well, yeah, I'm fucking xenophobic then. Dumbass. I'm a part of DACA. My parents, after 25 years, were finally able to put paperwork in front of them to become legal through my younger brother. Hopefully everything is successful so this nightmare can be over after being here for 25 years, paying taxes and no criminal record. Heart. Yeah. I hope so too, brother. Can they change the 8 years after they implement it for 2 years? No, the 8-year program is long, but again, you have to remember that it's not literally 8 years of being undocumented and then boom, all of a sudden you become a citizen. So the pathway to citizenship is always going to be a long one. I think it's 5 years for a green card and then 3 for citizenship, which is normal. And even before that, you get paperwork done so that you can literally your application towards amnesty offers you temporary immigration status so you can fucking work. So it's not like it doesn't work that way. Like you don't get fucked over that way. I mean, people will still get fucked over no matter what, but it is a good bill. Yes, I stand by this bill. It is a really, really good bill. It's a very popular idea, and I'm glad that Democrats are finally getting on board with it after being relatively, if not super reactionary on immigration under Obama. Like Obama did DACA, but also Obama was incredibly harsh on deportations as well. Obama in his first 4 years deported more people than Donald Trump did. There's a weird thing that people don't understand. Where I say, like, when I say Obama deported more people than Donald Trump did, people are like, that's not true. Fuck you. You're wrong. You lie. And then that very same thing exists on the other side where I say Donald Trump has droned more people than Obama did. And they say, no, that's a lie. No, Donald Trump droned more people than Obama did, just like Obama deported more people than Donald Trump did. Immigrate through legal recourse then? Why don't you immigrate some bitches, dude? How about that? Immigrate through legal recourse. Like, just because you say legal recourse doesn't hide the reality that what you're basically saying is, why don't you come through here legally? Why don't you come through? Why don't you come here legally, man? Like my ancestors did. When there were no restrictions whatsoever. And then they did genocide and rape. Why don't you do that? What do you mean when you say integration will create jobs? Do you mean roles for like English language instructor, etc.? Yes. Paperwork, teaching, educational opportunities. Are we gonna watch Senators? It's not that interesting. What is this?
Can take away all we have built, all that we stand for.
Oh, this is an ad break.
Dick Cheney was the tie-breaking vote as vice president, meaning that Republicans had the majority. It only lasted for about 6 or 7 months because Jim Jeffords, who was the moderate, liberal, even Republican senator from Vermont, changed parties and became a Democrat. That made Tom Daschle.
Yeah, the funniest thing is, like, Republicans will be like, why don't you come through here legally? And then they changed, like, they literally changed the legality surrounding immigration status. And they're like, well, not like that. I don't like that. Oh, well, it turns out you just didn't like immigration. But we already knew that, you dumb fuck. Why don't you come here legally? Well, I didn't mean like that. I don't like that you made it easier to be here legally, even though it's still fucking incredibly difficult, you know? Here it is. When people say open borders, they don't mean fucking free-for-all. Okay? Or at least as far as I know, I've never met a person who that's not like a super crusty anarchist or whatever that means like free-for-all. They just mean documentation and ease of access to the paperwork and allowing people, barring like some serious circumstances, to be able to immigrate with ease and be able to work in this country, get a work visa, have a system in place that we already fucking did historically in this goddamn country. Okay? That's what open borders implies. That you can, if you are like a Mexican day laborer, go into America, work, and go back to fucking your home and your culture and your family at night without fear that, like, if you cross the border, you're gonna get fucking clapped.
If there be no objection, the reading of the certificates will be waived, and they will be printed in full in the record. If the senators elect and senator designate will now present themselves at the desk, the chair will administer the oath of office.
Mr. Ossoff, Mr. Padilla, Mr. Warnock.
Please raise your right hand. Okay. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Radical liberals, boys. It's happening. Communism, stop the vote. Where's Marjorie Taylor Greene to save us from this? Things aren't looking pretty in the QAnon group. Yeah. We were looking at that already. Well, I'm officially the laughing stock of my family. Awesome. This is an embarrassment. Here come all excuses now. So where's the shock and awe? Q also said noon. I will start kicking people for their attitudes. We are
President
patriots.
and
you
Madam
stand here
Vice
and hold
President.
the line, or you can leave. Your
Majority
choice.
Leader.
Just to let the members know the order of business, we will first install Senator Leahy as President pro tem. We will then have some other sort of just mechanical business. I will then give my maiden speech as Majority Leader of the United States Senate, and then we'll hear from Senator McConnell. There may be a vote this evening. Unanimous consent. The Senate proceed to the consideration of Senate Resolution 6, submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 6, to elect Patrick J. Leahy, a senator from the state of Vermont, to be President pro tempore of the Senate of the United States.
Is there objection to the proceeding or the measure? Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
Madam President, I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there an objection? Without objection, so ordered.
Feels pretty
The
good.
senior senator from Vermont will be escorted to the desk. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic?
I do.
That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of S. Resolution 7 submitted earlier today.
Without objection. And the clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 7, expressing the thanks of the Senate to the Honorable Chuck Grassley for his service as President pro tempore of the United States Senate and to designate
Why
Senator
would I be
Grassley
opening my-
as President pro tempore emeritus of the United States Senate.
Wait,
The clerk will report the resolution.
how do you download Hitman?
Is
Oh,
there
it's on
objection to
Epic?
proceed to the
Fuck.
measure? And without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to and that the motion to reconsider be made and laid upon the table with
One
no
second.
intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? There's none. Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President,
The Majority Leader.
I ask unanimous consent the
This is
Senate
not epic
proceed to the
Fortnite
consideration
poggers.
of Senate Resolution 8 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 8, notifying the President of the United States of the election of a President pro tempore.
Is there objection to proceeding to the measure? Without objection, hearing none, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to and that the motion to reconsider be made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of Senate Resolution 9 submitted earlier today.
Clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 9, notifying the House of Representatives of the election of a President pro tempore.
Is there objection to proceed to the measure? Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to, the motion be to reconsider be considered, made, and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of Senate Resolution 10 submitted earlier today.
Clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 10, electing Gary B. Myrick of Virginia as Secretary for the majority of the Senate.
Is there objection to proceeding to the measure? Hearing none, Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to and that the motion to be reconsidered be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? Not hearing objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of Senate Resolution 11 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report the resolution.
Senate Resolution 11, electing Robert M. Duncan of the District of Columbia as Secretary for the minority of the Senate.
Is there objection to proceeding to the measure? Hearing none, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection? Hearing none, without objection, so ordered.
That's it. Mr. President,
The Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I need to catch my breath, so much is happening. A few hours ago, on the west front of this citadel of democracy, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were administered the oaths of office to the presidency and the vice presidency of the United States. We have turned the page to a new chapter in the history of our democracy, and I am full of hope. I would challenge anyone not to feel hopeful today after listening to Amanda Gorman, the amazing 22-year-old poet, wise far beyond her years, who told us that, quote, somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. The hope she spoke about, strong and happy hope, the hope we feel today, is a hope, of course, that's tempered by reality. This was an inauguration